Hey guys, welcome to Get It Done with Gabby. Today we are here at my parents' house in their John Deere room. So it's basically like this little addition on the side of their house that has a door to the outside that they put all of their like tools, weed whackers, leaf blowers, all that sort of stuff in here. I was talking to my mom about what projects I could work on while I was home, and she mentioned this space. They really want to just redo the organization. They're thinking about buying like a new workbench, maybe like a wall organization system. We're not totally sure exactly what it's going to end up being because our very first step is to basically take account of everything that they have and what storage solutions they want to use to organize this space. So today our main focus is sorting through absolutely everything and coming up with a list of everything that they need or want to make this space like optimally functional. So let me show you around a little bit, and then I think we're just gonna try and take it all out. If you are new to my channel and love organization content, cleaning, all that sort of stuff, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and let's get into today's video. So here is the main storage shelf. My parents have been in this house for about 7 years at this point, and this is kind of the state of the work area. They have these two shelves above the workbench, and the workbench is a complete disaster right now. But yeah, things are just kind of strewn about, and it definitely could use some organizational work at this point, so we are just going to unload the entire main shelving system and start going through absolutely everything. You guys will see my mom in this video a lot. She is the one helping me with this project because obviously it's all her and my stepdad's stuff, so I needed one of them there to tell me what was keep, what was donate, what was trash, all that good stuff, because it's obviously not mine, so they have to be the ones to make decisions about where they want things and all that kind of stuff. So my mom was a huge part of this project. Okay, so we pulled everything off that first shelf, and I think we're just gonna sort and organize that first before we pull anything else out, because we don't wanna make like a huge mess. So let's organize all of this. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe, are you really considering the wall rack?
I think he is. He needs, yeah.
So we need to pick what you're trying to hang and put that in a section so we know what hooks we need for what tools. So basically what I was explaining to my mom there was that we need to start making specific piles for the organization so we can see what items we have and how we want to organize those specific items, because we need to account for the space we're going to need, the type of hangers we're going to need if we're hanging things on the walls, what kind of drawer space we're looking at, all that kind of stuff, because it's really hard to go out and pick organizational systems if you don't know what you have to organize. So that was kind of the first thing, is just pull things out that she knew she wanted organized a specific way so that we could go seek out those very specific types of organizational systems. At this point in the project, we weren't sure if this video was actually going to be a complete organizational video. My mom and stepdad were planning on going out later this day to go see what options were available and see if they liked any of the options that were out there, but at this point we weren't totally sure if we were going to find what they were looking for. Spoiler, they found the workbench that they wanted, so we did end up completing this project in full, top to bottom, getting everything organized in the new system, so that was really exciting. Like I said earlier, at this point we were just pulling absolutely everything out because these boxes were so full of random stuff. My mom didn't even know half of what they had in there because the boxes were just piled full of random things. And so we found a bunch of stuff that they had been looking for years that were in the bottoms of these buckets. And turns out they had a lot of duplicates of things, which is kind of a common occurrence when we don't have our stuff organized. Is you think you have something, but you can't find it anywhere, so you go buy more of that object and you keep losing them. And so my mom had just tons and tons of tiny little blades, like little saw blades, that we kept finding everywhere in all sorts of different buckets and drawers and things. But now they have a very specific location, so we don't have that repeat buy situation happening again. As you'll kind of see as we go through this, there is occasionally some micro-organizing going on, like with all of these nails and screws and things. We kept finding them all over the place, basically. So we were just trying to get those in their proper place, which was this nail and screw organizer. So while the main point of this initial process was to do just like general sorting and organizing, I did want to put these things away as we were going, just because we already knew they had a spot, so why not get them in their proper location right away. Okay, we have sorted the initial pile of stuff off all the shelves. So we have a pile of things over here that we want to hang. So we're thinking, as Mom bangs around in the background, we're thinking we're gonna hang all of those things. We're thinking maybe like a pegboard wall or something. And these are all big tools that we want to put in like a drawer of some sort. And then the rest is just kind of like micro organization, piles of different things that we need to find places for. And then the bags back here, these are all like tool bags that are gonna stay that way. They function, they work great. So those are already good to go. But everything else we have made initial piles for, and I think now we're going to move on to the next section. Alright, so far this is our trash pile. So not too shabby, got rid of a decent amount of stuff. And then this is our little donate to the restore. They're just hinges and little bits and bobs for hinges, so hopefully somebody can use those. Yeah, that stuff has to come out yet, Gabbi. Hello. So we've had some developments over the past couple days. I got very, very sick. So I was kind of useless for a couple days. And so we kind of moved along with this project without my assistance. So let me show you what we have going on currently. Okay, so you guys saw my family get this whole beast in here. They had to, this is like 500 pounds. So they had to get it off my stepdad's truck and down the side of the house to get it in through the back door down here. So I just kind of stood in the doorway and filmed that process. But like I said, I was really sick, so I was no use to anybody. So I haven't even gotten a chance to look at this, but this is our new storage system for the most part. So I think what we're gonna start by doing is loading this thing up the best we can. I don't know if this rack is going to be staying or not. We are unsure of the rack situation, but we do know these games are going to come out and go into a different storage area. So we're gonna clear this space out too. But I think our first main goal is to fill up all of these drawers. And the reloading process has begun. So our plan of attack for this day was for my mom to grab things that she knew where she wanted them organized, and she was going to bring those into me first. And so as you can see here, the first thing she brought me was this little circular saw, and it did not fit in the bottom drawers. The very first thing we tried did not fit in this organizational system, so we were feeling a little bit nervous after that didn't work out, but turns out that was the only thing that was not going to fit in here, so it all ended up okay, but that was a rough start for us. We did end up deciding to unpack the Ryobi tools bag. Initially, we were just going to leave all the tools in that bag, but we had the space, and this way they can see their tool options a little bit better. We do end up keeping the bag just for any travel-related things, but figured we would use the space while we had it. I know I said this earlier in the video, and I'm sure I will say it again, but this was just a very initial organization. I'm not very good at planning things out. Like, I didn't draw any charts or maps of where I wanted things in these drawers. I just kind of started putting things in there. That is how my brain works best. I just need to like start doing it to see what we have and where things fit. That might work for you. You might like having a little bit more of a plan going into things. But for me, just putting things in there and just seeing how it all fits is my best way to not get overwhelmed because there's obviously a lot of things to sort through. But at the end of the day, we can move things wherever we want. So if they're not working in one place, we can swap them around, move them to a different drawer. For me, it's just easiest to just get started and just get going. So this was the drawer we ended up joking about the most throughout this whole organizational process because we kept finding these blades everywhere. So many tiny saw blades. Like they were in every toolbox, every tool bag. We just kept finding little collections of them. And this is like the prime example of how organization can help you to not overbuy things. Obviously, this was a very small thing and not like a huge deal, but now my parents don't have to buy saw blades for a very, very long time because we found quite the collection of them. I think this top drawer was the one that got rearranged the most because we were coming towards the end of what we wanted to put in this storage unit, and there were a lot of like big, weirdly shaped objects that needed to go in there, and so it was just kind of like a collection of random things, and we kept putting things in, taking things out, and I feel like that top drawer had the most adjustments going on with it. So this little section is a perfect example of where we put something initially and we ended up moving it because we wanted something else there. Not a big deal, just swap some things around and voila, more space. Worked out great. Alrighty, we are officially onto a new section of this space. We ended up deciding that we were going to put a lot of the epoxy resin crafting materials up on this top shelf because they are pretty low use items. We only bring them out for like the really big wood projects that we do, so it's not something that needs to be accessible all the time. Obviously you can tell I'm up on a step stool, so it's definitely not something that my mom can reach very easily, so we just put stuff up here that was not a regular use item. Now we are moving on to the storage shelf. I decided I wanted to try and turn it. My theory was it would look more open and accessible when you walked in the door if it was turned. I'm just kind of testing out the flow of the room right here, seeing if it would work. But I feel like I like it turned this way. Don't know if my stepdad is sold on that one yet, but it's an easy enough turn. It's not a very heavy shelf, and there's not too much on it anymore. So if they end up not being into it turned this way, we can flip it right back to the other side. But I figured for the sake of rearranging the whole space, it would be fun to turn it for a little while. Alrighty, I'm just going to put a few finishing touches on what we have going on, and then we will do the walkthrough of the space and how it turned out in the end. Okay, so here's a little more of our get rid of pile. We're donating that toolbox, that little organizer container. This is all just like garbage pile stuff. Garbage, there's our bag of garbage. And yeah, I think that's it for over here. All right, guys, here is our after. So right when you walk in the door, we have this shelf. We did end up keeping it just for all the big stuff that we needed to organize outside of the toolbox. So we have empty bags up here for like travel, jobs, whatever. They can grab these down and pack these with tools to go. Then down here we have, well, I guess that's their to-go bag that's currently filled up. These are tool bags that I'm not sure exactly what's in here, tools of some sort, but they don't use these very often. That's their little boom box for jobs. Then we have all of the screws and nails right here. This was the one stupid saw that would not fit in their new organized system. It's too wide and fat. It didn't fit in the deep drawers, so it's annoyingly sitting out here. Then we have the caulk and caulk guns all in this. And then down here, we have more tools and the chainsaw. And then this is where the ping pong tables go. They sit, let me just show you. So there's the ping pong table. It sits on top of the pool table. So we pull the ping pong tables off and they just slide right in there. So the wood's down there to keep it off the ground in case there was a water situation. So those will just slide right back in there now because we did turn this, which I do like a lot more. It makes this room feel a lot more open when you walk in. And then here is the new beautiful masterpiece of an organizational system. Right out the gate, wish the bottom drawers were a little deeper, obviously, because that one tool wouldn't fit in the bottom drawers. And also wish there were more, like, just slightly deeper drawers. Like, if you look from this angle, you've got some deeper ones, and then they get really skinny. So it would have been super useful to have more of the deeper ones because we were having a hard time finding locations for a lot of things because they were just barely not fitting, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to show you the insides of all of these, but first let's check out the shelves. So up here is all of the epoxy resin project stuff. We did make a river table, which I will insert a clip of now, but that's what all that stuff is for making those. And then down here is more regularly used items like wood glue, paper towels, trash bags, batteries, all that kind of stuff. And then here, I will show you what's going on in all these drawers. Now keep in mind, this is like a first level attempt. As they use this, they will obviously notice what works and what doesn't, and then we can reassess later. But up here, so we've got screwdrivers, things in here, hammers, and why can't I think of what these are called? Tape measures. This is all the chisel stuff and staplers. And they got their manuals there. And then we have a couple random drawers. So this is one of the random stuff drawers. Then we've got tape and string of all sorts in here. These are their socket sets. And then here's one of the first deep drawers for the bigger tools. And then this is kind of just an array of random stuff. We'll see how this goes, what's working, what's not. This will probably definitely have some changes made. Probably definitely. Yeah, so this is a random one. And top middle, oh, this one's empty, so we didn't even put anything in this one. That was one of those really skinny drawers, so we just didn't have anything to put in it. Like, same with this one, just one of those really skinny ones. Got our saws. This is the clamp drawer. More big tools. And the final row. This is the miscellaneous drawer. It's got all sorts of random stuff in it. Honestly, we could probably move that to that big empty one over here so they're more spaced out. We just didn't know how much stuff we'd have, so this is where it's currently chilling. Blades on blades on blades. All of our drill bits. These are the screwdriver bits and then saw blades. And another big tool section. These are all the Ryobis. Alrighty guys, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this John Deere room workspace transformation. Obviously we started off thinking this was just gonna be a little clean out, and then they actually found the organizer that they wanted. So it's actually a complete video from start to finish. Like I said, this was a first round organization for this particular unit, so we'll see how it functions for them, how the organization works. Obviously, there will probably be some reorganization going on in the future, but I'd say it worked out pretty well for a first go around. If you enjoy organization content, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!